Hey, everybody, more World Cup to talk about Saturday. Group J in Kansas City. Algeria versus Austria. There's a lot more to unpack in this matchup than a lot of people would think. We'll get to all that in a moment. I'm Bruce Marshall. First of all, though, a couple of quick housekeeping reminders. As always, don't forget to click that subscribe button on your screen there. Make sure you can get all of our Wager Talk TV videos. Also, special offer going right now on my World Cup All Access pack. And the All Access Pass, all my picks the rest of the World Cup, priced at just $129, special price through June 29th, so through the weekend. So good deal there. We've had a pretty good run in the World Cup thus far. All of my picks, World Cup All Access Pass, just $129. That offer is good through June 29th. Okay, let's take a look at Saturday. Let's take a look at Group J. And first of all, as you can see in the crawl at the bottom of the screen there, the table in Group J, this is already Argentina's group. They have already won the group. They are going to be advancing as the group winner into the knockout round. Algeria and Austria, both on 3 points, with Austria with a slight advantage on a tiebreaker right now based on goal difference. They would be in second technically right now, Algeria in third. Jordan pulling up the rear. Jordan has already been eliminated. Jordan will be facing Argentina and Leo Messi, who has scored all of Argentina's goals to this point. They'll be playing at the same time here as Algeria and Austria in this place. This match, of course, taking place in Kansas City. Why do I want to talk about this one? And to enlighten those who might be hearing reference to the disgrace in Gijón as it relates to this match. I'll give you a little history lesson there, and that's people old enough to remember the 1982 World Cup like me and remember watching this matchup those matchups in 1982. These two teams faced off in the group phase that year, and Austria won. But the controversy came in the match after that, and it was the final group play match in the group in 1982. There were 4 sides in the group. There was Algeria, there was West Germany, as it was called then, Austria, and Chile. Algeria pulled one of the great World Cup upsets of all time when it beat Germany, West Germany, in the opening match. But it ended up losing to Austria after that. But as they came into the final match, and remember, the 1982 World Cup was structured a bit differently than other World Cups. They expanded it to 24 teams that year, but there were 2 sets of group play before they got down to the final 4. So this was at the end of the first group play. And they didn't play all the group games at the same time back then. And what happened in 82 ended up prompting a change from FIFA. The situation was this. The final group match, West Germany and Austria entered, both with a chance to go through at the expense of Algeria, as long as West Germany would win the match by 1 or 2 goals. They would advance through along with Austria at the expense of Algeria. So it was all set. And like we said, the matches in group play were not all played at the same time there. So this was the last match of group play. Gijón, the site was El Molinón in Gijón, 1982 World Cup in Spain, almost 44 years ago to the day, June 25th, 1982. Well, what happened there? Germany scored a goal on 10 minutes from Horst Hrubesch, and West Germany and Austria spent the next 80 minutes basically playing kickabout, kicking the ball back and forth, back to the goalkeeper. Tony Schumacher would kick it long the other way. Neither side was making any attempt to score or much less tackle or do anything for the final 80 minutes of that match. And that's why they ended up calling it the disgrace at Gijón. And most people seem to think that these two conspired on that result, and maybe they did. I wouldn't disagree with that. So, and a lot of people, the TV commentators at the time, were telling, their viewers, might as well turn off the set. We see what's going on here. But the victim of that was Algeria. Now, Algeria has had a bone to pick and a spur in the saddle for 44 years. They finally got a crack at Austria, though I have always thought West Germany in 82 was a little bit more responsible for that than Austria was, because they were the side that could have, I think, won that game by a bigger margin. Nonetheless, Austria was party to it. and there's a lot of dislike on the Algerian side for Austria. So that's the little background here. That's what when they hear disgrace of Fihon 1982, they're referring to that, and now Algeria's chance 44 years later to get some revenge, at least against one of those sides, and Austria. Be careful what you wish for here, because the team that finishes second in this group is probably going to be facing Spain at the top of the knockout phase. So that's one thing that might not finishing second in this group might not be the best thing. But anyway, now here's the irony here: if these teams both draw, isn't this ironic? They both go through on 4 points, and Austria would go through as the second team, Algeria as the third team, but they both go through. Is that what's going to happen? This could be a pretty spirited match if Algeria comes in fighting match, but you got to remember, none of the players were born or close to being born. I mean, years away from being born when they played that match in 1982. They'll hear about from all the old timers. But can either of these two escape the gravity pull of the other in this matchup? The pricing is very interesting here. You usually don't see a draw price as low as you see here. We saw one like this the other night with Australia and Paraguay. But right now, the draw price only at plus 125. That is one of the lowest draw prices you're ever going to see. And not to suggest these two are going to conspire or anything, but we can see sort of a stalemate here. Now, Algeria finally kicked into gear in the second half of the match against Jordan. They are missing one of their live wire players, Wolfsburg winger Mohamed Amora. He's probably going to miss this match again. But Amain Jure from Marseille scored the goal, and he scored some goals from Marseille too. He scored the winning goal actually against Jordan, and that good comeback win for Algeria when they finally got it into gear. Algeria is a pretty lively squad, and is a pretty fun side to watch. They had trouble against Argentina, as everybody has in the first round, but they might be able to get something going. But Austria the other way is not bad either. They were hanging with Argentina till the final minute. They're just down 1-0 until Messi clipped them again in added time right before the final whistle. But Ralph Ragnick's side, dangerous. We saw them at the Euros 2 years ago, making some impression there with their front foot style. And this should be kind of a back and forth match. The total here too is lower. I think if you wanted to look at a total here, look at the alternative total at 2.5 goals. Possibly is a good price on the over at 2.5 goals, but something tells me that this match is going to end up a draw, and it could be 0-0, it could be 1-1. I would look at Jure from Algeria to perhaps be a goal scorer for Algeria here. Plus 300 is a pretty good price on a score. Arnautovic from Austria, also a pretty good price to score a goal that way. But something tells me these two teams are going to just not be able to escape the gravity pull of each other. And they're both going to go through on 4 points. Ironic as that sounds from 44 years ago. But it should be sort of a colorful match. And I'm just kind of interested to see how aggressive Algeria is, if they're going to take out the aggressions a lot of their older fans will hope they do against Austria. Makes for some interesting viewing in this game at Kansas City. We'll see what happens. That's my recommendation, though. A draw, even at that low price, I think that's the way to go. And maybe Jure to score a goal, plus 300 on that price. Okay, we'll be back to take a look at more World Cup action as the tournament continues. Don't forget, as always, if you got a comment for me, hit the comment box down on the screen right there. Love to hear from you. And remember, that special World Cup All Access pass, that's all of my picks. Rest of the World Cup, priced at just $129, and that is through June 29th on that special price. So, okay, until next time, that's a goodbye from me.